There I was, barely standing in the final round to win a Minecraft PvP tournament. Round after round, I started losing my grip on the match, but after a while, I made one calculation. Bingo. On January 8th, 2023, I uploaded a 1-hour video where I got to participate in a PvP tournament hosted by Cosmos SMP. As of today, this is my second longest YouTube video I have ever uploaded on this channel. Now, for the event, it is important to know that Castle is the owner of the Cosmos SMP, as well as my friend. I was an admin at the time, so I was allowed to help with the event. My job was to make the kits as competitive as possible, so I made the following 4 kits: Crystal PvP, Sword PvP, Netherite Pots, and UHC. There were to be 3 fights per kit, making that a total of 12 fights per match. As for the format, it was a single elimination tournament, meaning if you lose a match, you will be knocked out of the tournament. With that being said, I will quickly go through each round of the tournament I have played. The first round was against Steve, and we began with Crystal PvP. I decided to camp in a corner, placing obsidian all around me in case my opponent ever gets close. I would bombard them with end crystals. In hindsight, I could have easily won the game if I just played more aggressively, but I got punished for my inadequate playing style and lost the first fight. After crying for a good 5 seconds, I decided to drop this edit on my opponent.
Call an ambulance! Call an ambulance! But not for me!
Yeah, my editing skills paid off and I beat Steve 11-1. My friend Ibrahim played against Stain L, and after a long battle, he came on top 7-6. My next opponent was Alex, and she proved to give a better fight than Steve. I won my first crystal fight, but in the second fight I forgot to equip my totem, costing me a point, only for me to jump back with a swift victory in the last fight. The sword kit was where things got interesting. As Ibrahim commentated the match in the background, me and Alex went back and forth in a long battle. I won the first 2 sword fights and Alex barely managed to win the last sword fight. After starting the UHC duel, Alex pro glitched into a wall, but I strategically took advantage of my utilities and won twice only to lose 1 time afterwards. In the Netherite Potion, I showed up with a stellar performance, sweeping 2 kills very quickly only for my opponent to rage quit and winning me the match 9-3. Unfortunately, Ibrahim didn't make it all the way through the tournament, and instead, I was met with Cosmos in the final round. The thing about Cosmos is that I have played against him before, and at the time I considered him a strong Crystal PvPer. To give a quick recap of our match before the tournament, I beat him 3-2 in Sword, 3-0 in UHC, 1-2 in Netherite Axe and Shield, 2-0 in Netherite Potion, and 1-0 in Crystal. Having beaten him before, I had the confidence that I would be able to beat him again, though I don't expect to do so without a strong fight. And so, we fought. I tried playing more carefully. I relied on glitching through walls to buy me extra time. I even tried my old strategy of hiding in a corner back in round 1, but no matter how many times I tried to hit him, he just refused to die, causing me to lose the crystal kit 3-0. It seemed like I was quite literally throwing the match. I tried making some type of comeback in the next kit, but I was simply losing my grip on the match, and I thought I might actually lose the tournament. But I still had hope. My last strategy revolved around bow spamming from a distance to avoid melee interactions. Even though my plan changed as the fight progressed, I noticed that his golden apples were presumably running low, and after chasing him down for a while, I finally beat him. claiming my first victory of the match. But something felt off. How come I beat him last time without much problem and suddenly I struggled to kill him after losing 5 times in a row? Then I started to figure stuff out. I asked Castle for Cosmos to be teleported to the arena without armor, and I also asked for a netherite sword. Then, this happened. Four. A number which has both squares and roots in an even number. A number so special, it actually just proved Cosmos was cheating. But how? Well, I managed to calculate that a player with 10 hearts is not supposed to survive 4 critical hits from a netherite sword. Let me explain my thought process in a way that you might be able to understand. Half a heart in Minecraft is equivalent to 1 HP, which is equivalent to 1 damage. Meaning 1 heart is the same as 2 HP and 10 hearts is the same as 20 HP, which is the amount of health a player has in a normal state. Now, a netherite sword in Bedrock Edition does plus 8 damage, meaning 1 damage from the standard fist hit is added with the damage of the netherite sword, thus 1 plus 8 equals 9 total damage output. Now, dividing 20 with the amount of damage, it would be reasonable to assume that a player would normally die by being hit 3 times with a netherite sword. Keep in mind that I was making critical hits in this clip, so we have to multiply the damage output with 1.5. Cosmos died after 4 critical hits. So we multiply that number with 4 and we end up with 54 damage output needed to kill a single player without armor. Given that Cosmos survived 3 critical hits and only died at the 4th one, we can calculate the possible amount of HP he had, which would be somewhere between 40.5 and 54. Divide those numbers by 2 and you'll realize that Cosmos could have had somewhere between 20 and 27 hearts in those fights he beat me in. After I provided my evidence to Castle, he disqualified the Cosmos from the tournament and I won with first place. Good ending, right? Well, yeah, I won the tournament and I was satisfied with it, but I was still left wondering, why? Why would someone like Cosmos cheat in a Minecraft tournament, and did he even cheat? I mean, for all I know, he was just harder to kill. Who knows, someone else helped him with cheating. Who knows if he installed some hacked client or somehow received extra help from a hidden command block. But that's besides my point. Why would an individual cheat just to win a silly event in a block game? The answer might be a bit convoluted. There are many reasons you could hypothesize about. For one, revenge. After defeating him in a fair fight, he could have wanted revenge. Or he didn't like me for some reason. Another possibility was that he just wanted to make his reputation by winning a tournament, but there wasn't any money on the line, so it didn't really add up. Whatever his motive was, I was left without answers. I wasn't even mad about the fact that he cheated. I was just curious, and after well over 3 years, I'm still left without answers. Hello there, Future Gnarls here. So, I wanted to end the video right then and there, but while editing, I rediscovered something that could get me closer to the truth. Right here, after I killed Cosmos in our last sword fight, there is something strange. The death message is not natural. Normally speaking, my name would have appeared, but it seems like Cosmos' death message was not executed by my axe. In fact, my diamond axe swung a tad later than Cosmos died on screen. A good explanation for this would have been a command block, or rather someone that executed a command to kill Cosmos. But who could it be? Out of the 3 people that were in the Minecraft world, neither me or Cosmos had access to Operator, which leaves only Castle left. Could Castle have worked together with Cosmos to get me eliminated from the tournament? Maybe, but why would Castle kill Cosmos instead of me? Perhaps to rage bait me into cheating accusations? I contacted Castle regarding this incident, and he said that he didn't know, couldn't remember much, and that he wasn't on Cosmos' side. That can also still make sense. Theoretically, Castle could have not known about Cosmos' scheme and executed the command to help me instead of Cosmos. If that were the case, it would make for good timing, as Cosmos was 1 game away from destroying all my winning chances and 2 games away from winning the tournament himself, as he could then forfeit the rest of the games and just win the match. That seems to be the most logical hypothesis, but then again, I don't know for sure, as this occurrence could be explained by a bug, a part of Cosmos' hack client, or whatever it is. Knowing the truth seems like a rather distant reality, and I want to end this video by saying, don't believe everything you see. The world is full of information as well as misinformation, making it easy to disillusion yourself, and we won't know with 100% certainty what has happened until Cosmos decides to open his mouth and speak for himself. But until then, this remains an unsolved mystery.